Haven't been able to go to any Friday Wing Chun classes since work started back up. But right now it's a holiday, so I don't have any work. So today I get to go to a rare Friday Wing Chun class. That makes it a 2-class week and therefore a good week. Alright, in this Wing Chun class, I learned the fourth bit of Sionim Tao, which was pretty cool. I've been there for maybe 2 months now, and I'd still only learned the first 3 bits through the one that starts with Tong Sao, and then comes to, I think it's called Wu Sao, and then down to Fuk Sao, and then back out. So in this class, I did the fourth bit, which is the one where you sort of push down and then attack to the front and back. I've learned 2 different versions of Sionim Tao. This was more like the second version. The first version I learned when you come up from there, you're sort of pushing out this way and hitting with like the side of your hand. This one was more of like a chop, which is like the second version that I did. For the most part, this version of Sionim Tao has been more similar to the second version of Sionim Tao I learned compared to the first version. But after that, you come to here, and then there's 2 moves. It's like sort of a double ton, and then this. It has a name, but I can't remember it. I'm having trouble visualizing what those parts are for, so I'm gonna have to ask sort of how you use them, what the purpose of them is for. A lot of the stuff I can sort of tell, even if it's fast or slow, what it's sort of intended for, but those 2 bits, I can't quite figure it out, so I'm gonna have to ask. There we added a new move to that, I think it's sort of like Chi Sao, but it's not Chi Sao. Before we'd done the punches with hook punches that you have to defend against. This time we added sort of a kick, where the attacker person sort of brings their leg up as if they're gonna do a kick. And the other person has to bring their leg up as well to defend against it. Just as one leg goes up, the other person brings their leg up as well, so that the first person can't kick because the leg is in the way. A good addition, it makes it a little more complex, extra thing that you have to pay attention to. Overall, I liked it. It added a little bit of complexity to it. I still need to ask what it's called, though. After that, we did a defense against a shirt grab. I liked this one. It was pretty straightforward. They're grabbing the same side, so not the opposite side. They're grabbing the same side. So they're using their right hand to grab my left side. So it's the same side of the body. You trap with the same hand, and then you bring your elbow around and under. So they sort of get brought back. As you come around, you step behind the other person, and then you can do whatever you want. You can take the head and pull them back. You could attack. You could go into a choke, whatever you feel like doing from there. Then we did a defense against a shirt grab, which I liked. It was pretty straightforward. The other person grabs you. So if they're using their right hand to grab you, you use your left hand to trap because it's the same side of the body. If they're facing you, their right hand is on this side, so you use your left hand, which is also on this side. Then after you've got the trap, you bring your other arm up, drop the elbow sort of onto their elbow, bring your arm under their arm, and then you're behind them, so you can do whatever you wanted. We did some like grabbing the head, pulling it back. I like striking. I'd maybe like throw an elbow or something. You could do a choke, I guess, if you're like a BJJ guy. Once you're behind them, you can pretty much do anything you want. Pretty different than the Tung Soo Do self-defenses we do back home. I feel like those usually involve sort of peeling the hand off, either using the thumb or something. I feel like we do stuff like that as a lapel grab defense, or you could just peel off and like punch, things like that. This one was a little, this Wing Chun one we did was a little more technical, I guess, but I liked it. After that, that sort of lapel shirt grab, we did a bunch of defenses against a choke. At first, they were a person coming in to choke you, and then after that, we did if they were already choking you. So the first was if they were coming in to choke, but their hands weren't like super close, they were sort of coming in sort of wide. And for that one, we did the sort of shoulder roll that we had done a couple Fridays before as a push defense. So you sort of rolled the shoulders and brought your hands up to sort of push their hands out of the way more, and then you were right inside and you could come in and attack or just have your hands up to defend. I like that one. It's very simple. It's very direct. There's nothing weird. There's nothing too technical. If their hands are out enough, you can just bring your hands in, use your shoulders to help redirect them, and then you're right there to defend or to attack. After that, we did if their hands are like really close and they're coming in, because then it's harder to get your hands in like that. The defense for that one was to bring a hand around to trap. Since they're close together, you can trap them with one hand. So you were sort of circling around the elbow, like this, and you would bring it up, trapping the two hands, so the hands would come in and then they'd get trapped, and then you could punch with the other hand. It required a little bit of moving to the side. Just doing it straight on was kind of tough, but if you moved to the side, you could catch them and then punch after. The defense seemed pretty solid, but I had a little bit of trouble trapping those arms. A lot of the time, I'd only trap one arm and punch, which left them another arm that they could attack with. Better than getting choked maybe, but not quite where I was supposed to be. The last defense was if they were already choking you, and it was similar to that previous defense, except instead of using one hand and punching, you used both hands. So the other person's already choking you. You do that same sort of rotation around the shoulder, around the shoulder, around the shoulder, around the shoulder, but with both hands. And you sort of hit near the elbow, which will collapse sort of their choke, and then you can sort of pull them back and sink your weight, which will pull them forward, and then their head is right by your hands and you can throw an attack. I did like it. If you did it quick enough, you could catch them before they were too strong, and then you could pull them in and down. One of the things we did was you'd catch and then sort of pull their hands in. So as you hit the elbows, that sort of collapsed them, and then when you pulled in, that sort of put them here. So they couldn't really choke, and they were really close to you to hit. That was my favorite way of doing it. I had a little bit of trouble sinking and pulling back. I couldn't quite get the technique right, but I found the technique was not quite as difficult if you collapsed their elbows on the hit and then pulled them in, and then super close for like a chop to the neck or something. I have a little bit of trouble with sinking into my moves in Wing Chun. Every time we do something like that, I just can't quite get it. Definitely something that I need to practice more. Hopefully, again, we do more of it in class because I don't have a partner to practice with at home, so it's harder to practice things like that. So hopefully we do more of it in class, so I have a partner that I can then practice those sinking moves with. The last thing we did, I cannot show you. It was a block for a front kick, so the other person is throwing a front kick, and you were blocking it with your leg, sort of how you do a leg check to a roundhouse kick in like Muay Thai or MMA. But I didn't get any video of it, and I can't remember how to do it. I was having a little bit of trouble getting the timing right in class, I remember, and since I don't have any video, I can't review it. I'll admit I have a very bad habit of filming these post-class bits way too post-class, so then I can't quite remember everything right. So if I don't have any video of it, sometimes I have a little bit of trouble remembering what it was, and that is what happened in this case. But it was sort of similar to a leg check, if I remember correctly. You were sort of bringing your leg sort of up to block the front kick, and then coming forward with another kick. But I'm not confident enough on what happened to really talk about it, other than I was having some trouble getting the timing right. I was also having a little bit of trouble getting the weight shift right. I was shifting back a little too much, so then I couldn't throw the kick because I was moving back too much. So I needed to sort of keep my weight a little more forward as I did the block, but couldn't quite get the hang of it in class. A good addition, it makes the set, the practice